they found out that, like, I think it was an arrangement.
It's been all over the news today that Justin Bieber unfollowed his wife on social media.
I'm a husband. You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you.
Leading to so much speculation about the state of their marriage.
She has no idea what she's talking about.
I hit a little bit of an emotional breakdown.
So hot, I would have got rid of you a long time ago.
I thought marriage was gonna fix all my problems.
Oh, now we gotta go.
Like the top members of that cult get like girlfriends. Go ahead. Oh my God.
Is Chris Pratt associated with Hillsong?
Hillsong. I heard he was supposed to marry Hailey Bieber.
I'm gone.
I dragged her out of bed in the morning.
Sadly, I was not there.
My name's Steve. And the third song, it's my daughter.
Justin Bieber just posted something that feels less like a sweet family moment and more like a silent scream. Hours after Hailey was spotted in New York City without her wedding ring, Justin uploaded a black and white photo of himself gently holding their baby boy Jack Blues. At first glance, it seemed peaceful. Father and son, close, quiet. But for those paying attention, the message was anything but. The caption read, "Nothing to prove, life is a gift." Simple words, but in the context of everything happening behind the scenes, they hit like a gut punch. And it wasn't just the photo. The timing was impossible to ignore. Hailey, 28, had been seen walking solo, ringless, again. It's become a recurring pattern over the past few weeks, and each time it stirs speculation about their marriage. Meanwhile, Justin, just 31 but already battered by 2 decades of fame, was going silent. But this wasn't passive. This felt like a carefully chosen moment. Instead of speaking out or reacting to headlines, he let the photo do all the talking. In it, baby Jack reaches for his father's ear, small fingers curled around him like an anchor. It's an image loaded with emotion, a tender moment between a man and the one person he seems to be clinging to with everything he has left. As if to say, this is who I'm doing it for now. Fans picked up on the subtext instantly. The comment section lit up. Be strong for your son. You're doing great, Justin. This is what matters most. Some praised him as a devoted father. Others saw something deeper, maybe darker. The message didn't just feel like a celebration of fatherhood. It felt like a quiet retaliation, a soft, emotionally loaded response to the swirling noise, to the rumors, to her absence. And just one day earlier, Justin had shared another telling moment. A viral audio clip posted to his Instagram story featured someone venting about being emotionally iced out. If you're giving me the silent treatment, at least tell me why. I have anxiety and I overthink. Left and right, they go hand in hand. The timing wasn't random. No names were mentioned, but for fans already connecting the dots, the target seemed clear. It felt like a message aimed at Hailey, not through words of confrontation, but through curated silence, suggestion, and the heavy emotion of fatherhood. Then came a strange twist. Despite all the tension, Hailey liked the post. A single tap, a small, almost robotic gesture. Was it support, guilt, public image management? No one knows, but it was telling. In the face of growing rumors, cold appearances, and public discomfort, it was her only public reaction, and it did little to stop the speculation, because behind that heart icon, the silence between them was starting to feel louder than anything they'd said. This wasn't just a cute post. This wasn't just a dad holding his son. It was a coded message. Raw, deliberate, and heavy. And what Justin posted next would take things from emotional to truly alarming. The emotional wave didn't stop with that photo. Just hours later, Justin posted something that felt even more personal, almost like a crack in the mask. In a series of Instagram stories, he shared a clip of a content creator venting about receiving the silent treatment. The audio was sharp, raw, and filled with anxiety.
You're giving me the silent treatment? At least tell me why. I have anxiety and I overthink. Left and right, they go hand in hand. If you give me any room for error, there will be error.
It was aggressive, it was vulnerable, and it didn't sound random at all. Fans instantly assumed it was about Hailey. Why? Because the silence wasn't just online, it was everywhere. The cold public outings, the awkward body language, the missing ring, and now, Justin was amplifying that silence with a message that screamed frustration. Not in his own words, but by choosing someone else's voice to say what he maybe couldn't. It was messy, it was human, and it was loud, without him ever raising his voice. This isn't new territory for Justin. Over the years, he's opened up about feeling misunderstood, about being hated, about struggling with identity after fame swallowed his childhood. But this felt different. The quiet storm building between him and Hailey was spilling out into the open, and this time, he wasn't cleaning it up with carefully crafted PR quotes or glossy couple selfies. He was letting the cracks show. What made this more disturbing was how it aligned with recent insider reports. According to sources close to the couple, Hailey has been superficial about how their relationship looks in public, while Justin has been irritated, withdrawn, and lacking motivation. It's the kind of slow burn tension that doesn't explode, it erodes quietly, day by day. And that's what made his next story even more heartbreaking. Because while the world was still trying to process the cryptic post and the viral audio, Justin doubled down on what mattered to him, his son. A second clip followed, showing Jack crawling, smiling, babbling, pure innocence. It was as if Justin was reminding everyone, this is what's real. Not the drama, not the rumors, this. But even in that soft moment, the silence around his marriage was deafening. As Justin opened up in his own cryptic way, the spotlight inevitably turned to Hailey, and the signs weren't good. Just days before, she'd been photographed out in New York again, this time wearing a bold black outfit, but no wedding ring. It wasn't the first time she'd gone ringless in public, and each time it added fuel to the fire. Are they still together, or are they just pretending to be? The internet did what it always does. Zoomed in, speculated, obsessed. But the truth may be even messier than the rumors. According to insiders speaking to Entertainment Tonight, things behind closed doors aren't good. One source claimed that Justin has become emotionally distant, struggling with motivation, internal conflict, and a lack of direction. Meanwhile, Hailey is reportedly growing frustrated, not just with the tension itself, but with how it all looks. One quote stood out. Hailey can be superficial about how their relationship appears in the public eye. In other words, appearances seem to matter more to her than fixing what's broken. And then there's the silence. The public silence. Even as stories swirl, neither Hailey nor Justin has addressed the state of their marriage directly. They haven't denied the headlines, and they haven't stood side by side in a united front. What we're seeing now is emotional distance, coded posts, and awkward silence between two people who were once inseparable. The kind of silence that says more than words ever could. Yet, oddly enough, Hailey still tries to maintain the image. She still likes Justin's posts. She still shows up smiling at events, sometimes even wearing the ring again, as if toggling the narrative back and forth. But the body language tells a different story. Paparazzi photos show her walking ahead of Justin, barely making eye contact. Their once affectionate chemistry has faded into cold stares and distant poses. It's like two people playing roles they no longer believe in, and it raises the question, is this just a rough patch, or are we watching something much bigger unravel in real time? Because while Justin is turning fatherhood and emotion, Hailey seems to be trying to hold together the optics. And in the middle of it all, the silence between them is starting to look less like strategy and more like a permanent divide. Father's Day was supposed to be a celebration, Justin's first one as a dad. But instead of peace and joy, it turned into something else entirely. Because while Justin did post that tender photo with baby Jack, what came next shattered any illusion that things were okay behind the scenes. In a separate Instagram story, he shared another video clip, and this one was anything but soft. It featured a voice angrily ranting about being ignored, about overthinking, about emotional damage. If you give me this silent treatment, at least tell me why, the voice shouted. I have anxiety, and I overthink. If you give me room for error, there will be error. The audio was intense, vulnerable, and deeply personal. No names were mentioned, but to fans, it didn't need one. It was Justin's way of speaking, without speaking. And then he doubled down. That same day, he posted a now-deleted clip of himself flipping off the camera with both hands, middle fingers raised, no caption, no explanation. It was jarring. This wasn't the soft, spiritual Justin that fans had seen in recent interviews. This was something raw, angry, tired. And it all happened on the same day the world expected him to be glowing with fatherhood joy. Instead, he looked like a man on the edge, conflicted, exhausted, and completely unfiltered. It didn't take long for fans to put the pieces together. A cryptic quote, a silent treatment audio, a defiant gesture, all on Father's Day. To many, it felt like he was making a statement, not just about being a dad, but about the woman who wasn't by his side that day. Hailey hadn't posted anything about him. No photos, no stories, no public celebration. The silence between them was louder than ever, and Justin wasn't hiding how he felt about it. Some fans cheered him on, calling him a real one for not faking it. Others were worried, saying the whole situation felt off, like a slow unraveling playing out in front of millions. But what everyone agreed on was this: the version of Justin we saw that day wasn't filtered. It wasn't curated. It was raw pain, wrapped in defiance, disguised as a celebration. And it left one question echoing louder than ever. What's really going on behind those closed doors? Behind Hailey Bieber's carefully curated public image lies a reality that's far more complicated and far more painful. In a recent interview, Hailey opened up for the first time about her traumatic birth experience, and the details were harrowing. She revealed that giving birth to their son Jack was the hardest thing I've ever done. Despite preparing for months, strength training, pelvic floor workouts, feeling physically stronger than ever, her labor spiraled into something terrifying. Her water was broken manually, she labored for hours without an epidural, and then came a serious complication: a postpartum hemorrhage. She admitted that for a brief, horrifying moment, she truly believed she might not survive. That's not the kind of trauma you walk away from unchanged. Even now, months later, Hailey describes being postpartum as the most sensitive time she's ever experienced. She's grappling with a new version of herself, trying to rediscover who she is, not just as a model, a public figure, or a wife, but as a mother who went through something physically and emotionally scarring. And she's doing all of this while being bombarded by rumors of a failing marriage, online hate, and the unrelenting glare of the spotlight. Hailey admitted to be going through all of that, while also hearing people say we're unhappy or headed for divorce. It's unbearable. It's not just stress. It's identity collapse. Pressure from all sides. Her fans want her to stay polished. Justin's fans want her to disappear. And through it all, she's expected to smile, stay beautiful, and pretend everything's fine. And then there's Justin, who's reportedly been checked out emotionally, dealing with his own demons, and described by sources as unmotivated and irritated. Some insiders even claim that Hailey has set strict boundaries, including refusing to be around him when his energy is off. There have even been quiet whispers, still unconfirmed, that those close to her have discussed some form of legal control over Justin's decisions, with phrases like conservatorship floating around behind closed doors. Whether true or not, even the rumor speaks volumes about how unstable things seem to those closest to the couple. Their love story, once painted as a fairy tale, now looks more like two people quietly unraveling under the weight of parenthood, fame, and emotional distance. They might still be in the same house, but emotionally, they could be in different worlds. And the scariest part, neither of them seems ready to say it out loud. As the cryptic posts, missing rings, and emotional confessions piled up, fans weren't just watching, they were feeling it. The internet exploded with speculation. Reddit threads dissected every movement, every caption, every glance between Justin and Hailey. TikTok videos went viral with side-by-side comparisons of the couple from then versus now, showing the shift from public affection to awkward silences. Twitter was flooded with comments like, "You can see it in their eyes, they're done," and "Justin looks like a broken man." But this time, it wasn't just the usual celebrity gossip. There was something different about how fans were reacting, something deeper. For many, watching Justin crumble in real time felt personal. He wasn't just a pop star, he was the kid they grew up with, the teen heartthrob who sang about love, heartbreak, and redemption. Now he looked lost, tired, like a man holding his son with one hand and barely holding himself up with the other. Some fans flooded his comments with encouragement. "Jack is your purpose now. We've seen your pain. We still believe in you. This isn't the end. You've made it through worse." Others turned their focus toward Hailey, with mixed reactions. Some sympathized with her postpartum struggles, calling for kindness and space. But others weren't so gentle, accusing her of caring more about her public image than her partner's well-being. One comment read, "She's wearing the ring one day, hiding it the next. You can't play both sides forever." And then came the conspiracy theories. Some fans believe the couple is already separated, but hiding it to protect their brand. Others suggest that Justin's behavior is a cry for help, not just emotionally, but legally. Mentions of a controlled image, forced silence, and even whispers about a conservatorship started to surface in fan circles, drawing eerie parallels to Britney Spears' past situation. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is clear. This isn't just about a celebrity marriage anymore. It's about emotional burnout, mental health, and the unbearable weight of always being watched, even when you're breaking. And fans are no longer watching just for entertainment. They're watching out of concern. But the most haunting thought? Maybe this isn't the beginning of the end. Maybe the end already happened, and no one said it out loud. With every cryptic post, every ringless appearance, and every strained moment caught on camera, the question becomes harder to avoid. Can Justin and Hailey survive this, or are we witnessing the quiet collapse of a love story that was never as stable as it looked? On paper, they've always had the makings of a power couple. Young, beautiful, successful. But what's playing out now isn't a fairy tale. It's raw, real, and painfully human. Justin, a man who's been in the spotlight since he was a kid, seems emotionally fragile. A father now, but also a husband, growing more silent by the day. Hailey, on the other hand, is battling postpartum trauma, online scrutiny, and an identity shift no one really prepares for. She once called Justin her safe place, but lately it seems like neither of them knows where home is anymore. They've both said they want more kids someday. They've both said they're committed, but saying it doesn't make it real, because behind the scenes it seems like they're no longer building a life together. They're just trying to hold one together. And with every public appearance that looks more like a performance than a partnership, the cracks are only growing. Sources close to the couple say they're still hopeful, that they want to fix what's broken. But hope can only carry a relationship so far if the connection underneath it is fading. Some fans still believe in them. Others are already mourning the relationship, calling it emotionally over. And maybe they're right. Maybe what we're watching isn't just a marriage in crisis. Maybe it's a love that's been quietly unraveling for months, and only now showing its true form. The truth is, no one outside of their home knows what really goes on behind the doors of their mansion. But from the outside, it's starting to look like those doors are slowly closing. Not just on each other, but on the future they once promised. In the end, maybe the most heartbreaking part of all this is the silence. Not just the silence between Justin and Hailey, but the kind of silence that grows when two people don't know how to say what they really feel anymore. The cryptic posts, the missing wedding ring, the frustrated clips, the quiet likes on emotional photos. It's like they're communicating through static, through carefully filtered pieces of a life that used to feel full. Justin's trying to be a father. Hailey's trying to be strong. And maybe that's the real tragedy. That two people who were supposed to be each other's piece are now just trying to survive, separately, under the same spotlight. They're not enemies, they're not villains. They're just two people trying to hold on to something that fame, pressure, and real-life pain may have already changed beyond repair. So, can they make it through this? No one knows. Maybe not even them. But one thing is certain. Behind every perfect photo is a story no filter can fix. And in this case, we're not watching a love story fall apart in flames. We're watching it slowly fade into silence.